First of all, thank you, Dina, for that little introduction. You're still talking, I see. I want just to ask, just a show of hands, how many people have been working with refugees for like 10 years? At least 10 years, okay? Or know of the refugee community? How many 20 years? Almost, good. How about 25 to 30? Okay, I've been working that long, came to Utica and got a job as a real English teacher, okay? And those of you who know what I'm saying, okay? And Utica was undergoing all kinds of reconstruction, moving grades, moving classes. And so I went from one building to another, and then finally they called me in one day and said, we don't have a job for you in English, but we do have a job in ESL. And I said, what's ESL? And don't forget, this was like 30 years ago. So I said, okay, I'll try it. Ooh, eyes wide open. A room full of high school students. I was only there for a couple months, and they were interesting, wanting to learn, but also very, how shall I say, uprooted, okay? Had one angry young man in there, and he, after I pulled him aside, he said, in his, you know, as much English as he had, he said, we were almost on the plane, and my mother, 2 sisters, and a brother were coming with me from Vietnam, and they stopped them. They said, you can go, but they can't. And he was like devastated. He was 18. The family was supposed to come with him. They said, well, you go, and then you can bring them. You can sponsor them. So he gets on the plane angrier than anything, and it's kind of carried through in his schoolwork. He was not happy. He was in another teacher's class and was causing problems, so they moved him to my class. And I said, okay. And hence my relationship with Han, my American son. He's the American mom, like Lynn said, we have those children. And they told him the next year that he can't come back to Proctor. He's only 19, but that's it, you can't come back. So, and I say this part, that if you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who can help somebody, do that. I talked to the home and careers teacher. The home and careers teacher talked to her husband talked to a guy. The guy knew Steve, somebody at Munson Williams. Han was a goldsmith. He had training to be a goldsmith in Vietnam. And again, the network that we worked and stuff like that, how Han has now been at the gold mine as a jeweler since he left high school. His son goes to Proctor, his daughter is at Kennedy, a very successful member of the community. And in turn, he has helped so many people. I just have one other story, actually 2. Okay, best job ever when I moved to the adult school at the refugee center. Working with adults is so different, as some of you at MV know, okay? They worship the ground you walk on, okay? They take down every word that you say, and they cook. Which means they bring food, okay? Never have to worry about lunch in there. While I was teaching there, I started to do home study, students who can't go to school. One of them was Herman Garish, okay, all right? Very famous young man in this community, wheelchair racer for the Boilermaker and other races. It's so ironic because they kept him out of school for 2 years because they didn't know how he would do with the wheelchair in the school. Okay, I mean, just connect, okay. The other homeschool student that I had was Hasid Murdich. He came April, and I don't know which year it was, came into the high school. June, he got a job with the Summer Youth Employment Program. So fortunate. Went swimming with his friends in Proctor Park. Jumped in, and those of you who know what happened, he was paralyzed from the neck down. 16, 17, and this was his life. However, he was so grateful for the services, for everything anybody did for him. Never lost that sense of humor or that appreciation of being in a country where people would take care of him as to how he was. And I'm going to have to end here because Hussey passed away this year, and it's a great loss. He was a friend of my family. My daughter and I used to go visit him all the time, as did Ibrahim, and it's a great loss. We have some great people in this community, and through these jobs, I have met so many, and they have touched my life.